Hello friends, this is Professor Vinti Davar going to talk to you about event management today. Events and celebrations are an integral part of everybody's life. You celebrate birthdays, weddings, religious functions, achievements and promotions. By now, you must have attended or taken part in school and college functions such as your annual day, youth festivals, sports day and convocations. Corporate working in different companies attend annual general meetings, conferences, conventions and exhibitions. Meetings, incentives, conventions and exhibitions are collectively called MICE. The industry and trade houses organize fashion shows, marketing campaigns, festivals, product launches, brand development, activities, and sponsor live and mega shows. The live music, dance, or fashion shows, national and international level sports, the World Cup matches like cricket, hockey, tennis, which you all watch on TV, are events. I believe that after listening this talk and reading the e-content of this module, you will be able to understand the concept of event management, characteristics of events, different types of events, and step-by-step event management process. This will enable you to manage any event professionally and emphatically. First of all, let us learn the definition of event management. Event management is a process that involves planning, implementing, controlling and monitoring, marketing, analyzing, and evaluating an event. It is a multifaceted activity that requires a lot of creativity, research, and feasibility study before actual production, effective relationship management, advertising, marketing, and promotion, all rolled into one seamlessly choreographed process will ensure success of the event. It's a way of promoting a product, service, or idea in a very different and creative way. An event that is managed efficiently and effectively becomes a lifetime memory for participants and a very, very powerful promotional tool to launch or market a product or a service for business. Now, let us gain an insight into the characteristics of event management, which are very, very specific. Event management is a highly creative process. The events reflect the creativity and dynamism of team members and the team event manager. You can bring novelty to an event by thinking differently and pumping new ideas in creating and managing an event. The second main characteristic is that the event managers need to be effective leaders. They must constantly motivate, direct, organize, control, and influence the team members. The leadership qualities speak volumes and are reflected by achieving desired results. Also, event management has to be objective oriented. Each manager has to set and achieve certain goals or objectives. All the activities are directed towards accomplishing these goals. The event management team should not waste time and resources on unwanted activities or formalities, but deliver good results. One characteristic of event is their variety. There are various kinds of events that the team has to manage. For example, local events like you have heard Mysore Dussehra or Goa Carnival. Mega events such as World Cup cricket or Olympics. Events like launching a new product through live shows. Fashion show is a good example for you to understand. I am going to discuss vividity in events later in this very talk. The next main characteristic is teamwork. Organizing an event is undoubtedly a great teamwork. Many teams such as sales, operations, project management and support, accommodation and travel, logistics, audiovisual, and designer tirelessly work together. Success of the event depends upon each team and every member doing their job efficiently. Promotion is another important characteristic. Effective promotion is required to make an event successful. Certain factors which you must take into consideration are wide publicity of the event, advertising the event through effective media, and maintaining good public relations. Equally important is planning and control. The event management team has to plan and control all the activities that are related to the event. We'll discuss this point in details later in this lecture. But to give you some idea, planning and control broadly involves developing a mission statement for the event, establishing the objectives of the event, preparation of proposal, producing the event, controlling and monitoring each activity, evaluating the activities of the event, and taking corrective measures while planning the future events. Along with these, the event manager must exhibit professionalism in each decision and activity. Professionalism involves planning and control of activities in a systematic way, the manpower planning and proper execution. Now we shall explore the different categories of events in detail. Broadly, the events fall under two main categories, and each category has different types of events. There can be different types of events based on size of events and on the basis of type of events. On the basis of size of events, the events can be mega, major, minor, and hallmark events. The mega events, as the name suggests, are extraordinarily big and generally target at international markets. The Olympic Games, Cricket World Cup, FIFA World Cup in soccer are good examples. The Mahakumbh Mela held at Allahabad, India is also one such event where very large gathering takes place after every 12 years. The major events attract significant local interest and large number of participants, as well as these are generating significant tourism revenue. India International Trade Fair, which is held at Pragati Maidan, New Delhi, is an annual attraction to lakhs of locals and tourists to visit the exhibitions, cultural events, and cuisine, etc. Most events fall into the category of minor events, and it is here that most event managers gain their experience. Almost every town and city has some annual event associated to it. In addition to annual events, there are many one-off events including historical, cultural, musical, and dance performances. Meetings, parties, celebrations, award ceremonies, city sporting finals, and many other community and social events fit into this category. The hallmark events are designed to increase the appeal of a specific tourism destination or region. The Suraj Kund Mela in Haryana, Khajuraho Dance Festival, and Mysore Dussehra are all examples of tourist destinations achieving market positioning for both domestic and international tourism markets through their annual events. Now, on the basis of type of events, we classify events into sporting event, which is one of the most important event categories. Olympic Games, tournaments, cricket matches are few examples of this category and attract large number of fans from across the world. Today, this segment has certainly become an important segment due to its economic impacts. The second category is entertainment, arts, and culture. Entertainment events are well known for their ability to attract large audiences, but in some cases, their ability to draw large audiences does not come through. The financial point comes in between. the ticket sale does not escalate and cannot meet the expenditures. You must note that timing and ticket pricing are critical to the financial success of such events. The painting exhibitions, musical shows and concerts, Bharatnatyam or Kuchipudi dance performances are some examples for you to understand. The third main type is commercial marketing and promotional events. Promotional events tend to have high budgets and high profiles. The aim of promotional events is generally to differentiate the product from its competitor and to ensure that it is memorable. The audience for a promotional activity might be sales staff, trade houses, exporters, departmental stores, and fashion house owners. The media are usually invited to these events so that the impact is huge. Let me tell you that success is vital. Most frequently, these events involve product launches, often for mobiles, electronic gadgets, cosmetics, perfumes, cars, apparel, and many other products or brands. The next type of events is the meetings and conventions. As we have already discussed, it's generally known as MICE, the meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions. Many conventions attract 1,000 or more people, while some meetings include only a handful of high-profile participants. Another type of events is festivals. Under such events, food and wine festivals are becoming increasingly popular, providing a particular region the opportunity to showcase its products. We have Gujarat festival as a good example in front of us. Religious festivals also fall in this category. We also organize family events like wedding, childbirth, naming ceremony, birthdays and anniversaries, etc. All these provide opportunities for families to gather. It is important for the event manager to keep track of changing social trends. It has been observed that Western tourists are a big market for Indian wedding industry, with many couples having a traditional ceremony at India away from their home. Fairs, music shows are organized in most communities, frequently run by enthusiastic local committees to raise funds for a noble cause. The effort and organization required for these events is often underestimated. As their general aim is raising funds, it's important that children rides and other such contracted activities contribute to rather than reduce revenue. Besides all these categories, some events defy categorization. So we put them as others, such as Valentine's Day, animal shows, and other such events. These are generally run on a fairly small scale with voluntary support and sponsorship. Now we need to know that how do we create the event concept. On the basis of 5 W's concept, any event can be managed effectively. But what are these 5 W's? The first W is why. This is the first question that must be asked, and the most important, that why are we putting the event? It will enable you to decide why we want to organize the event, either to raise funds or promote a product. This describes the purpose of the event. The answer to why gives us direction to achieve the set objectives, otherwise it will be a wasted effort. For example, celebration of a particular occasion such as Republic Day of the country might help to promote the country's image, attract visitors, increase business, or simply improve country spirit and sense of patriotism. Who? If you look for an answer to the question that who will attend the event, this will help you in identifying the prospective key markets, stakeholders, sponsors, partners, audience to the event, and number of attendees. The event may be targeted at local residents, tourists, or visitors, or specifically for young people, families, or general audience. For example, Pravasi Bharatiya Divas on January 7 each year targets NRIs. The next question is where? How? The answer gives the place to stage the event. It decides location, venue of the event on the basis of suitability in terms of space, availability, cost, transport, parking, and other facilities. The answer to when will enable you to decide the best time of the event, the ideal date and time, and to fix up duration of event from hours to days and weeks, etc. The suitability of time depends on target audience, availability, and weather conditions. The next W is what. It denotes the type of event or the theme. It also elaborates the event profile and the main highlights. Now it is time for us to understand each step of event management process clearly. Event management is the application of all management functions to create and develop an event. The main aim is to bring all factors together to produce a workable, successful event. I hope by now you must have learned the basic principles and functions of management in earlier talks and through e-content. But just to brush up your existing knowledge and to learn the intelligent use of these functions in event management, the first step of the process is planning. Planning process mainly concentrates on planning the venue, layout, catering, transportation, list of invitees, audio-visual aids, programs, and marketing, etc. The detailed feasibility study and pre-planning process will always bring success. You will see a pre-planning checklist displayed on the screen for your reference that can be used to plan and organize any event efficiently. You also need to cautiously use resources available. These may influence planning in different ways and on different levels. For example, an event like film award shows will require huge finances, whereas religious ceremonies are non-profit oriented events, but human element is more important. It is necessary to first determine the proportions of resources required for the event when assessing and analyzing feasibility of the event. You should weigh each resource to help prepare your analysis. The main resources you need to concentrate upon are finance, time, space, and human resource. While managing finance, the foremost thing one needs to do is to ascertain if you have sufficient funds to sustain development and implementation of the event. Furthermore, you must consider what will happen if the event incurs loss. Can you arrange cash to make payments? Do you have some backup plans? To avoid such situations, you must carefully analyze the cash flow projections for the event and establish how much money you can set aside for commercial and financial commitments. A seriously thought budget will help plan the event efficiently. Sample preliminary budget as shown on the screen should include main costs such as venue rentals, catering, wages and salaries, administration, lighting, sound and visual, staging, marketing and advertising, entertainment, travel, accommodation, decoration, graphic and printing, and contingency. Establish a specific budget for the event, setting aside at least 10% for contingencies and exigencies. A very crucial process is time management for any event. In the case of mega and major events, allow yourself at least 12 months lead time. Select dates carefully because when financial resources are limited, you will need to negotiate on the quality of accommodation, flights, meals, and meeting rooms or venues. Budgeting your time is not an exact science, but rather a dynamic experience that must be governed by the importance of each event. Substantial time is required for pre-event meetings with vendors, ongoing communications and contract preparations, actual event time from time of arrival through departure, and post-event billable time. A contingency time factor has to be added to each phase to avoid lapses. Space management is another aspect of concern. When selecting a venue for an event, availability, size of the event, layout and suitability, stage field of play or performance area, transport and parking, proximity to accommodation, services available, for example, food and beverage, technical support systems such as PA system, projector and venue rental, each matters. One of the primary considerations when selecting space is the age and type of guests who will be attending. Selecting a site far from city or events with young ladies may not be a good option, but it may be cumbersome due to safety and security reasons. Therefore, research and need assessment are crucial. You must identify and match the needs, wants, and expectations of the stakeholders. The terms ingress and egress are important concepts when reviewing a potential venue. Ingress defines the entrances or access to the venue, and egress refers to the exits or evacuation routes. When considering ingress and egress, you must not only consider people, including those with disabilities, but also vehicles, props, and indeed any element that must enter or exit the site. Parking space, public transportation, including taxis, must be checked before finalizing the venue. It is essential to ensure accessibility of the venue in relation to participants. For example, if international guests are to attend the event, an airport must be nearby. The size of venue is also vital depending on the number of attendees. There are professional venue finding agencies in metros and big cities. Their help can also be sought if the organizers are not local or lack time. The next is the human resource, the most tricky to be managed, but you need to calculate the number of staff you will require at the event. Remember, quality is more important than quantity. Decide whether you will be relying on your own workforce or on casual staff. If the event is to be staged abroad, consider hiring casual staff from that country only. It is important to form different teams, as I have already explained to you, assign specific work schedules and duties. Accountability is a serious aspect of human resource management. Prepare a short list of qualified agencies or professionals with a proven track record or who have been expressly recommended to you. The next step of management process is the implementation. The actual execution part needs to be orchestrated in a perfect manner. Anything that goes wrong during execution will spoil the whole event. The venue needs to be managed efficiently in all domains, which include managing the event area, proper layout, hospitality, and all the other things which provide the participants a perfectly comfortable feeling. The control and monitoring is the next function of management that you need to understand. The highest level of control is required on personnel working for the event. Constant monitoring of activities is key to success of the event. The manager needs to ensure that team is working on the correct activities in right manner, on schedule, on budget, producing high quality work, comparing with the checklists prepared for the purpose. Lastly, evaluation is essential. It is all about finding your mistakes and learning from them. Event evaluation should be done immediately after the event is over or the next day. Adopting a formal review process reduces unnecessary delay in producing an event. The key aspects to be considered include: the review process should feature the oversight team monitoring, and the second, reviewing plans developed by the event planning team. Let me tell you that the oversight team typically consists of mid to upper level agencies and law enforcement in addition to the event planning team. There are two main event evaluation steps. Step 1 is important to determine the extent to which event objectives have been achieved. If you are not able to achieve your event objectives through your event, then no matter how much people enjoyed the event or how much popularity your event got, it is a complete failure on a commercial level. Step 2 is to get feedback from your clients and target audience. One good way of getting feedback is through feedback forms and make corrections in an event next time as per the suggestions given to you in the event evaluation form. In the end, to summarize the whole module, we all are aware that different types of events are celebrated all over the world in each home, city, country, and nation in the name of family events, sports, MICE, or on a specific theme. Event management involves extensive pre-research, meticulous planning, efficient organizing, perfect implementing, rigorous control and monitoring each task so as to make the event successful. The time, space, finances, and human resources are to be judiciously used and managed. Thank you for listening attentively. I wish you a very fruitful and enriching learning in the coming talks and e-learning modules. God bless you all. Thank you.